Welcome everyone. This is a first video in our course on comprehensive Ruby programming, and I'm really excited to go through all of the material and walk through this great language. I started as a developer well over a decade ago, and when I started building in Ruby about 4 or 5 years ago, I absolutely fell in love. It's one of the clearest languages to read, at least for me, and hopefully you'll think so too. One thing I really like about it is it's so easy to read and it's so easy to go through that you spend less time worrying about syntax and things like that, and you have more time to actually work on building programs, which is really the fun part. So hopefully you'll agree and really enjoy the course. I'm definitely here to help you throughout each one of the videos. Always let me know if you have any questions. So to get started, what is Ruby? It's a programming language. It's open source, which means that it's free to use, and it's a great way to build applications. Now, one thing to know, in order to build things like web applications, you need to typically use a web framework, and we'll get into that later on in the course, and there are a few very popular ones that are built on top of Ruby that make it really fun to build web apps, and we'll build a couple of those throughout this course. But it's really important to understand the difference. Ruby's not like PHP where you can render it easily in the browser and that kind of thing. So you'll start to see the difference as we build things in their files and on the console, and then you'll see a difference when we actually get it on the browser and see what we have to do to create web applications, which leads me into the next part, which is what type of applications are built using Ruby. Now, each one of these applications are built using Ruby on Rails, a popular web framework, but Ruby on Rails is built on top of Ruby. So in order to build Rails apps, you really need to understand how to program in Ruby. So a couple really popular applications. You have Hulu, which is one of the most popular online video destinations in the world. Twitch, which was recently acquired by YouTube and is a great destination for people watching video games and that kind of thing. It has a great user interface. Luminosity, one of the biggest learning initiative websites out there. They've raised something like $50 or $60 million in funding and have some great applications. We Heart It, which is a great entertainment site. Bloomberg Business, which takes different news articles and financial data and processes it all and gives it to users on a paid and a free basis. And then one of the biggest Ruby on Rails applications, if not the biggest application in the world, which is Twitter. Twitter was built from day one using Ruby on Rails, and they haven't left it yet. It's really been a great testing ground for seeing how much you can scale Ruby and the entire Rails framework into hundreds of millions of users. So now that you have a good idea of what you can use Ruby for, let's start getting into how we can get it on our system so we can start building programs.